Hi, welcome back. Day 2 of the Florida legislative session begins in the next 20 minutes with the first day officially in the books. We want to catch up with Central Florida lawmakers for their take and goals this year. And this morning we're joined by State Representative Eskamani, who represents the greater Orlando metro area. Representative, good to see you as always. Good morning.
Good morning, Ryan.
So let's start with this. The governor kicking off the session with his annual State of the State address. He called for reduced state spending and paying down debt. Let's take a listen to one of his sound bites and I'd like to get your reaction.
This year, my budget proposal reduces the budget by $4 billion from the previous year, placing $16.3 billion in reserves and paying down another $455 million in state debt ahead of schedule. We have run budget surpluses.
There's the soundbite. So the response this morning, Anna.
Well, much of the State address from Governor Ron DeSantis was pretty much a campaign speech. And I do want to also note that Florida has grown astronomically as a state, which means that our budget needs over the past 4 years have also grown. In fact, Governor Ron DeSantis has signed expanded budgets every single year. And I'm very concerned by what he is saying, because part of his goal is to actually cut state workers. And I would argue that we actually have a need for state workers, especially in some of our agencies like the unemployment system, food stamps, My Safe Florida Home program, where our homeowners and our residents are struggling to get any answers from these state departments.
I want to talk about a couple of state issues in a minute, but he also on the town hall last night, he talked about tackling border control and immigration issues. This would be if elected president. So here's what he said last night.
If we can't get this right, where we're a sovereign country, and you have millions and millions of people coming from all over the world, I don't see how we're going to be successful. So I'm going to declare a national emergency on day one in office. I'm going to marshal resources, including the military, to stop the invasion. When people come illegally, they need to be deported back to their home country. You know, Donald Trump promised.
So we just heard from Flagler Sheriff about his concerns with the record number of crossings, the impact on Central Florida. As you know, this is a big debate in Florida for different reasons, moving them around. What would you like to see happen?
Well, I would like to see comprehensive immigration reform that has a pathway to citizenship for those that are presenting at the border legally. And of course, helping to ensure that in the countries where there is upheaval and so many residents are seeking refuge, that there's security in those countries. And there are forms of soft power that the United States could employ to help build that security. I empathize when it comes to challenges we're facing with our broken immigration system. At the same time, immigrants are humans. This is a nation of immigrants, and we need to treat everyone with a compassionate approach. Of course, if you commit a crime, that's a different story, but individuals who present at the border seeking asylum are not criminals.
Yeah, we've seen a big debate in a lot of different states on this. You and I have talked a lot about the cost of rents that have just really gone through the roof lately. And you hear from a lot of people who can't pay that. Where should the state legislature go here? I know they want to control rents. Can that happen with this body?
Unfortunately, the political makeup of the legislature is very anti-tenant protections and anti-tenant rights. Now, I have filed an omnibus package with Senator Victor Torres, the Keep Floridians House Act, which would help even the playing field and give renters an ability to have support when it comes to just cause evictions, when it comes to situations of domestic violence, when it comes to accessing support like rental assistance. But I am worried that those policies, just because of the political makeup, don't ever see the light of day. We will be, of course, pushing for renter support alongside support for homeowners. And indeed, this legislative body has oftentimes made things more difficult by preempting local governments in the resources they have to solve these problems.
Running just down to our final 30 seconds here, waiting for court rulings, but abortion likely going to be an issue as well. What could play out here, and what are you still waiting to see happen?
Well, one of the biggest cases we're waiting for out of the Supreme Court is a decision on Florida's 15-week abortion ban. And when that decision comes out, the 6-week abortion ban goes into effect 30 days later. And that's why we're also obviously getting abortion on the ballot this November with Floridians Protecting Freedom.
State Representative Eskamani, always good to have you on. Good to see you this morning. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.